Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles Sebanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And folks, we have a very, very serious show for you guys here today. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. Yesterday, we reacted to some comments that sent me into a rage. And it was comments that was made by Stephen A. Smith on a recent sit down that he had on the Chris Cuomo show. He was up there talking about a range of things. But one of the things he was talking about was the Jeffrey Epstein situation that's taking place right now. For those of you who have been living under a rock, let me just catch you up quickly. The United States government said that they were going to release the Epstein files. Now, why did people want this list or this file to be released? Because this file contained some of the names of the most powerful people in the world who were trafficking little children and doing things that I refuse to even speak on this platform. That grotesque. And people wanted these people brought to justice because these are the global elites. And children should not be taken advantage of the way they've been taken advantage of. As we speak, Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, is sitting in prison. And by the way, we got a major update saying Ghislaine Maxwell to tell the truth about Epstein client list before Congress. Bombshell details emerge. We'll have to see if there's any truth to that. So she's sitting in jail, right? And you have hundreds of victims who were victimized on Epstein Island. The government said, Pam Bondi said, that the files were on her table. She was going to review them to release them. Donald Trump had promised he would release them. And then all of a sudden, they did this about face. All of a sudden, there's nobody on the list. There's no one on the list. And then people, especially Trump supporters, started saying, well, wait a minute here. We have a serious problem because you lot are lying. You're lying. And you've been caught on camera lying. So MAGA and Trump supporters have gone into an uproar, right? So keep that thought to the left. Stephen A. Smith then goes on the Chris Cuomo show and goes on there to say things that I personally believe that he should be fired for. But we're going to get to his comments in a moment. Then it made me realize that one of his biggest adversaries in sports media, Kyrie Irving, recently made some comments about him. Kyrie Irving was recently having a sit down where he said that he believes Stephen A. Smith doesn't deserve his $100 million contract. For those of you who didn't listen to what Kyrie had to say, take a listen to Kyrie Irving here explaining why Stephen A. Smith doesn't deserve a $100 million contract. Take a listen to that there.
Like, shout out Stephen A. Smith. He got his big contract and everybody knows what it is now, right? Mm-hmm. So it is one of those things where, like, public figures, they're all getting exposed. So cool, fine. If it's a fair playing field, it's a fair playing field. Okay. That's the only thing I would ask.
I feel you, man. Because I'm going to discuss his contract. I'm going to discuss Stephen A.'s contract, and I'm going to say, I don't think you're worth it. Now, that may be controversial, right? Obviously, Stephen A., this is just for somebody might try to clip that up. Watch the whole clip. I'm saying if I were the one to say that, right. Yo, you don't deserve your contract.
Right.
You didn't show up to work.
We should have second take. Does he deserve a max deal?
Does Stephen A. deserve a max deal? Yeah.
Excellent. So you heard what Kyrie said. Now here's how all of this ties in together. Kyrie Irving made those comments before Stephen A. Smith said what he said on the Chris Cuomo show, I believe just 2 days ago. So for those of you who didn't hear what this Joker clown Stephen A. Smith had to say about the Jeffrey Epstein list and people that are pissed off about it, take a listen to what he had to say here, And then I'm going to come back and really get into the show. Take a listen to Stephen A. Smith here.
Fair enough. But when we go to the Epstein, the quote unquote Epstein file, I'm going to tell you what jumps out in my mind, because I'm with you in this regard. We can't rule it out, but we can't definitively say it existed either, because we don't know. And because we don't know, it's irresponsible to say there must be a list, there must be a list. You can say what you believe. You can say what you're suspicious of, but you can't sit up there and speak in definitive terms when you don't have that level of evidence. That's number two. Number three, here's the big thing for me. The far right is actually, they don't realize this. They're making Trump look better and better every day. Think about this. We've got the war with Ukraine and Russia. We've got the whole Israeli-Palestinian situation, Hamas, Hezbollah, even though that's been relatively crushed and what have you. We see all of this stuff going on. You got tariff wars. You've got, purportedly the imminent presence of inflation and all of this stuff, or recession. Everybody talks about these things, okay? You see what's going on with ICE. You see what's going on with our border issues and what have you. And Trump, no matter what you may think about him, if you are on the right, you could not ask for better than what he has done, because what he has done is what they have said they wanted and have been trying to get done for years. And even they admit that he's doing their bidding, yet they're in an uproar because the Department of Justice said there's no client list and the Epstein files case is closed. Really? I mean, I'm wondering I got to talk to Steve Bannon. I got to talk to him. I got to talk to some of these people, the Tucker Carlsons of the world and everybody going crazy over the Epstein client list. Mm-hmm. That's what you're concerned about?
Excellent. So you heard what Stephen A. Smith had to say. I can't even put into words how bad this is. I can't verbalize it. Just how bad this is. I have been saying on this platform for what seems like years now, but really months, that Stephen A. Smith, anybody that takes anything serious in terms of Stephen A.'s political views, these guys are even bigger jokers than him. Stephen A. Smith doesn't know a bloody thing about politics. Half of the time, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And he says it himself. I'm not qualified to talk about these issues. But nevertheless, he still goes out there and does so. That's the first thing. The second thing, and I've always said this, and I believe this, Stephen A. Smith is a grifter. Stephen A. Smith has been a Democrat his entire political life, or every time we've heard him talk. But now all of a sudden, he has all of these right-wing conservative views. He's even flirted with the idea for running for president. And I'm like, you guys cannot be serious. You can't be serious. Because if Stephen A. Smith was going to run for office, what party would you represent, Stephen A. Smith? Because every time you cut on a mic, all you do is trash the Democrats and the left. So I'm confused. You're trashing the left. And then what? Are you going to run as a Democrat and expect Democrats to vote for you? I'm confused. But then you're trying to couch yourself as, oh, I'm an independent. But all of your rhetoric is always conservative and right-leaning. Hence the reason I call him a grifter. So this is what happened in this sound before we break down just how bad what this guy just said is. Smith said that those of you out there, you cannot definitively say a list exists, but you can't definitively say a list doesn't exist, which proves the fact that he has zero clue of what he is talking about. Zero. Stephen A. Smith, a list exists. If a list didn't exist, how are there victims? Why is Ghislaine Maxwell sitting in prison? Because if a list doesn't exist, then nothing occurred, right? But you just said you can't definitively say a list exists or it doesn't. Bro, what the are you talking about? What in the bloody hell are you talking about? That's the first thing. The second thing is this, and this is where he got it wrong. You see, Stephen A. Smith is a grifter. He's grifting. And what happened was he didn't realize that the sentiment had shifted. He didn't realize that Trump voters are pissed off at him. They are turning on him by the minute. Just punch it up. Every 30 minutes to an hour, a new Trump supporter is creating some content demanding answers from the government. Demanding answers from the government because this thing, they're not going to let it go. Dan Bongino, who's the deputy director of the FBI, is threatening to resign on principle over this matter. Over this matter. He is saying that he may step down from his position. But you got clowns out here like Stephen A. Smith trying to make light of it. So the first thing was, because he's a grifter, he didn't realize that the mood has shifted. That what you're saying now is wrong. The second issue of what he's saying is he's trying to make this a partisan issue. It's not a partisan issue, bro. This isn't a Republican, Democrat issue. No, it's not. This is an issue where Americans are not okay with children being trafficked and taken advantage of, regardless of who is in office. And for you to try to make it a partisan issue means you are clueless to what is really going on. They paid this dude $100 million. Stephen A. Smith, who gave you that $100 million? Because you seem really quick to defend these people. You're there asking the question, why are people in uproar over this? I mean, look at all the other stuff that Trump is. Why are people so mad about this? I'm going out to go enjoy my Sunday. Really? Really? We're talking about kids that were trafficked, bro. And you're wondering why people are pissed off? I'm a father. I'm pissed off. There are people that are not parents that are pissed off. Children are off limits. And for you to try to make light of that as you grift along, I think it's a fireable offense. If it was me, I would have fired him immediately. Stephen A. Smith has been suspended for less. For less. And if he doesn't get suspended, we're going to be asking some questions. Because I thought Disney was all about, protecting, the making sure that their product is kid friendly and all of that stuff. But then you let a joker like this go out there and make light of the Epstein situation and ask people, why y'all making such a big deal out of it? I mean, I don't see what the big deal is. Really? This is the dude y'all listen to get some political perspective from? This dude? What's Stephen A's position on anything? I said it yesterday in the live. If a chimpanzee had won the presidency, he would be handing out bananas. If a dog won the presidency, he would be handing out bones. He's a grifter. He's grifting to the right because they're the only ones that will give him a platform. Nobody serious on the left is taking Stephen A. Smith seriously. Nobody. He thinks this is a part of, Trump supporters, why are you mad at him? It's an American thing. It's us versus the elite, which some of us are beginning to wonder where your allegiance lies. Well, we already know because you said it. Every morning I wake up in the morning. We know. What's your goal in life? To make my bosses some money. That's your goal. Imagine a man, his goal is to make another man money. He's not even thinking for himself. He's thinking for the other guy. He's not even saying, let me create value so therefore I can go do bigger. No. His own is, let me think about my bosses. But what are your bosses going to say about this? Stephen A. Smith is getting destroyed all over the internet. All over the internet for these grotesque comments. People are destroying him. One account, we want to show it to you. Shadow of Ezra says, Stephen A. Smith says he couldn't care less about the Epstein client list and claims most Americans feel the same. He says Epstein clients who were bleep don't affect him at all because he's too busy living his own life. This jackass. Let's continue on. Smith admits he's baffled by the public obsession with the Epstein client list and doesn't understand why it matters so much to people. Smith works for ESPN, a network owned by Disney. Just go through the comments. This post has 1.8 million views. This guy should be fired. You cannot have Epstein apologists on television. People that make light of situations like this. This isn't the first time he's put his ass in his mouth. This isn't the first time. He's done it to Shohei Ohtani. He's made some comments against women. He's made some comments against Nigerians. People still forgave all of that nonsense. But this one, we draw the line, bro. How are you up there laughing? I mean, people are making a big deal out of it. For MAGA to be flipping on Trump, it speaks volumes. And if you heard the president, how he was defending it, it's like, well, wait a minute. Why does this mean so much to you? Stephen A. Smith, you said there's no list. There was nobody. The president admitted as much. He said it. You know, this was before he took office, years ago. You know, man, if I'm Clinton, I'll be worried with this stuff on Epstein's island and Prince Andrew or whatever it was. Then the president said he doesn't know him, and then they have pictures of them showing each other hanging out. So even the president said there's a list, but here you come. And the part that kills me is that this guy's supposed to be keeping us updated what's going on in the world of news. He doesn't even know that Pam Bondi, the attorney general, said that they're a list and they're going to release it, and then turned around and said there's nobody on the list. He don't even know that. He don't even know that. But in his mind, this is just an ancillary situation. I mean, why does it matter so much? It's not a big deal. I mean, come on, it's not a big deal. Go ask the MAGA supporters if they think it's a big deal. Go ask Americans if they think it's a big deal. Bro, it's a big deal. It's a bloody big deal. And it overshadows every other thing the president has done because kids are off limits, my friend. Their innocence cannot be taken for granted. But here you got Stephen A. Smith, Mr. Loudmouth, running his mouth. Half of the time, doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. I want to see all of the people that are going to bend themselves into pretzels to defend this joker. Because that's exactly what, I hope he see this. You are a joker. I hope he see, your 100 million, you still a sucker with that 100 million. 100 million don't make you a real nigga. You still a sucker to me. Period, end of story.